Liquefied natural gas, LNG, is what comes out of what they call fracking wells. And all the many pipelines that are starting to weave through Ohio and Pennsylvania. I'm sure you've seen some of them driving around with mom and dad or whoever. At any rate, that is the type of gas that is also feeding into the big Shell cracker plant to help make the plastic pellets and all the various other things they produce there. What concerns me is after our disaster here and looking about every other thing that associated with it, I had a little extra time the last few months and I was looking more towards the future. And the future is going to bring LNG up into the news a lot more. You can count on that or bet some of your dollars and dimes if you have some on that. And the thing that will be really important for us all to pay attention to is whether or not they are allowed to move or transport LNG via the railroad. And why? Because that is extremely hazardous as it exists at the moment. There is a rule under the past president called the Trump rule that began to open that up, and it is suspended under President Biden at the moment, as are the construction of some of the large plants that will gasify or make the liquid out of the gas, and those are all on hold right now. Those are all big construction projects, and once that comes into full gear, we will be moving a whole lot more natural gas, liquefied natural gas, via ocean to Europe and to Japan and to Australia. So we're concerned about that, at least some of us that are looking more towards the future. And without getting involved or caught up in the political, just where this election goes will determine how that's going to travel or whether it's going to travel. Because to freight or carry the liquefied natural gas by rail will require very special protocols. It will require very special container cars, and we're not going to be able to afford too many possible derailments or crashes because it's extremely flammable. It's basically, they call them bomb trains. So that gives you some idea. Meanwhile, they're going to continue to drill and open up more fracking wells or re-drill those wells because at the moment natural gas is big. America, the U.S., is the major exporter as of a year ago. So we're probably going to do some more developing there. So pay attention to all that. And if you live close to the railroad, you may want to knock on somebody's door and say, pass the railway safety legislation.